Hey everyone. Man, I think this is like the most people at the start of a stream ever. Hey, I spent like 20 minutes trying to get these audio levels right, so every time I create like a new thing in this Streamlabs software, I have to redo all the audio levels. So let me know if the music's too loud. I could turn it off even if it's distracting. I have no way of telling. I tried so hard. The only way I could tell is by like recording myself and then watching the recording, which is very tedious and time consuming. I wish that there was like a green room, but it is what it is. So if the music's too loud, let me know. It's also pretty repetitive. It's kind of annoying me. But anyway, that's not the point, right? What are we here for? We're here for the Jim Doublis or JimJam, Game Jam, as some people have been calling it, including myself from time to time. Voice could come up and music come down a little bit. All right, let me do this. I don't know if this is actually doing the right thing. Let me switch up this music. I'm just gonna lower it down a little bit more. Oh, that's as low as it goes. All right, we're gonna have to make it work. All right. Yeah, it's like super annoying. If it's too loud, I can just turn off the music. Matter of fact, let's just do that. Let's just do that. You guys didn't come here for music. Came to learn about this game jam, right? All right. So hopefully you know why you're here. We're talking about this Jim Doublis game jam. It starts today, and it's going to go for the next 3 weeks plus 1 day, I guess, technically. 3 weeks plus 5 hours, I guess. But let's get into it. So if you're new to my channel, if this is the first time you've ever heard of who I am, I thought it was good to just start off with a little bit of an intro about who I am. So I started this studio a couple years ago. I started learning game dev like 5 or 6 years ago. And at the time, there just was like no resources that were reliable. So it was a lot of just like trudging and figuring things out very slowly and manually. It was like, man, I just wish that there was a way I could learn this stuff like from someone that knew what they were doing. And as I learned and grew, I eventually became someone that knew what I was doing. And I decided to start my own game dev channel on YouTube to create learning resources. So ultimately my goal is to create learning, mentoring, create a sense of community. These are the goals that I'm trying to work towards. I'm doing this, so I've established somewhat of a history of doing this. So I have a course that is currently happening. I'm streaming every week. doing a live stream of this course called Game Development Boot Camp. We're going to be streaming week 4 of this. So it's an 8-week course. Week 4 happens this Friday. So if you haven't watched the first 3 weeks of this, it's available. The recordings are available on my YouTube channel. You can go back and watch those. Might be a little bit to absorb before Friday, unless you have nothing else going on and you just want to do just my course. But you can try to catch up. The recordings are going to be available as we go on. During this course, we basically start from the absolute basics of Unreal Engine, and we build upon that knowledge over the 8 weeks. At the end, you have 3 project templates that you can use to build your portfolio, start, working on your own professional growth in game development. I also have an older course that is a little bit outdated. Not like outdated, but it's just not the most fresh information. That one is available for free on YouTube right now. The whole course is there. You can try to do it. I think it's like 16 hours of video from start to beginning. And that's just the amount of video. That's not counting like the time that you got to stop and actually do the work. So enough to keep you busy for a little while, for sure. And then I also have a community. There's over 150 people in this Discord community already. We're doing a lot of mentoring, tutoring, helping people grow as they get stuck in the courses. We're providing guidance. There's been a lot of work helping other people that aren't doing through the course, but are just learning game dev in general. And we're trying to provide a lot of assistance on there. The goal is to build this community. And I also have some services that I provide if people want to, get one-on-one help. You can click that, you can scan that QR code, you can get that one-on-one help. But this is just kind of establishing who I am and like what led us to this point. So as we were developing this community, a lot of people wanted some ways that they could interact with the community, and we had the idea, let's create a game jam. So what is a game jam? If you're new to game dev, this might be a new term for you. So it's a competition, basically. And the goal isn't, the goal is to win, right? That's the goal of any competition. But really, the goal is to challenge yourself, right? So this is all about trying to push yourself, trying to create some challenge for yourself. It's an opportunity to practice your skills as a game developer. A lot of times when I've done game jams in the past, it kind of highlights some area where I maybe need to learn a little bit more, because you'll get to a point where you struggle and then you're like, wow, I really don't understand this that well, and I need to learn more about it. So they're really good exercise. Like, I think this is a critical part of learning. Yeah, exactly. So any chance I get to do a game jam, if I have the time on my schedule, I always try to section out the time. And usually they're short timelines. There's very specific design guidelines, and these are to challenge you, get you thinking outside the box. And that's hopefully what we do in this game jam. So here's my rules. These are going to be the game jam rules, right? So in order to win, essentially, you need to comply with these rules. So we're going to be using the Epic Marketplace July 2024 free for the month asset packs. These are available on the Epic Games Store. If you're new to Unreal Engine, I cover this in both of my courses, but you can go on there and you can look at what these are. They're free assets for you to use. Matter of fact, I have them up because I did a little bit of prep, believe it or not. So these are the ones for this month. You got this stylized landscapes pack. So this is looking pretty cool. You can make some pretty immersive kind of stylized, I guess, Breath of the Wild type games with these assets. Some good stuff in here, a lot of different biomes, a lot of cool assets that you can choose from. You got this Magic VFX, which I love these VFX packs. They're usually a lot of fun, able to create some really cool visuals for your game. So I think this is going to be, hopefully everyone tries to make use of this one at least. We got a Mediterranean coast, so if you're looking for not so much stylized, but a little bit more realism in your game, this one's got some really cool biomes. I could see this one being pretty useful as well. We got multiplayer or World Director NPC Pro. Hey, anyone who uses this one, I'll give you extra points. because that's I don't even know. I don't even know. I think that's too ambitious. And then there's this character creator, which I was looking through it a little bit. There's some cool stuff in here. So even if you're kind of newer and for a solo dev, this has a lot of the setup for you. So this one I would challenge everyone to try to at least take a peek at, try to see how you can use it in your game. But the first criteria, the first rules of this game jam is you must use at least 2 of those in your project. So pick 2 of the 5 and try to throw them into your game. I mean, I would say 3 of them that are probably pretty easy. If you can get, one of those other 2 that are a little bit more challenging, that's good. Extra points if you use 3 or more. So if you can find a way to make them all work together, that's going to be cool. And just for the record, I had this idea like starting back in like March or April. I had no idea what they were going to be. Like this is even like fresh for me, right? So I think this is pretty fun because no one, like not even I, had a chance to know what we were going to be doing for this game jam. So I'm actually a little bit relieved that they're at least somewhat cool for this month, because in the past months, sometimes they're not always great. Quick question. Can I use any of the assets on the marketplace, not just the free assets? Sure. You can use, I think that's later, right? That's, yeah. You can use any assets you want. Literally any assets you want, as long as you have a license for them. Because these ones are free on the Epic Marketplace, and we're going to be using EU5 for the most part. Yeah, the goal is to use these ones, but if you have other stuff, even if you're an asset creator, throw anything you want in there. But those need to be in there. The game needs to be submitted within the timeline. So if you're late, past the 23rd at midnight Eastern time, still I would say still finish it, still submit it so you're done, but you're not going to be able to win, essentially. You're not going to be considered part of the competition anymore. But I think if you get close, just submit what you have. It's better to submit something that's 80% done than not submit anything at all, right? So the third point, I think this is kind of what the question was. You must have a valid license for any asset you use. This includes fonts. Fonts are a tricky one. There's a lot of free fonts out there online that you can get for free. Just make sure that you have the license to use those in this type of project. Any pre-made asset, so anything you already have, you can use as long as you didn't start the game ahead of time, which I don't think anyone really necessarily could have, because you didn't know what the assets were going to be, and there's a theme that we need to stick to that I'm going to announce in a few slides. Teams are limited to 1 participant. This is really like, the point is I want to show off people's ability to solo dev a project. I want you to challenge yourself, find the areas where you enjoyed, find the areas where you have weaknesses, and really just try to do this as a solo person. Now, I can't really police this, right? I don't know if 5 people worked on a project, so this is like a little bit of integrity. But there's only 1 winner. So if you had like a team of 5 people, there's only 1 prize if you win. So congrats, you won. But how are you going to tell those other 4 people they don't get a prize, right? So anyway, no AI created content is permitted. Again, it's going to be really hard to police this. The AIs are getting pretty good. But I just ask that everyone use, have some integrity. Don't use anything created with AI. I can't really tell. I mean, some of them are pretty blatant, but for the most part, like if you're sly about it, you probably could slip under the radar, but have some integrity. This is supposed to be like a fun, enjoyable thing. It's not really cool if you fall outside the rules. But a big reason for this is like, there's still some, I think as a society, we haven't really decided like who owns the license to AI created content. And because you need to have the license for anything you create, I think technically anything you create in AI, you don't have a license for. So that's kind of my thought process there. Other games involved allow hot fixes after the deadline. That's a good question. I hadn't considered that. Let me think about it. I will announce that at the end. I got 3 weeks to answer that question. That's how I look at it. But yeah, like, sure, maybe there will be a grace period where you can do some last minute tweaks. I don't know. Let me think about that one. That's a really good question though. All right. I want this to be open to everyone. I want this to be like pretty friendly, chill. So I'm going to ask also that we keep things at like a PG-13 or lower level. Like, we don't want any stuff that like you wouldn't have in like a professional environment. So I put some things, but these are just a few that are pretty obvious to people, but I think everyone kind of has some discretion here. Like you need to use your own discretion. So let's not have anything nudity, no sexual content, no violence. Like, if it's like a fighting game, sure, but like we don't want any like super violent games, no gory games, no use of profanity, please, anything that wouldn't be in a PG-13 movie. I think you can say one F-bomb in a PG-13, so let's just keep that out as well, just to be on the safe side. I want this to be a friendly environment. And then no use of drugs or alcohol, just to keep it PG-13, just to keep everything above board. All right, so those are the rules. Here's my judging criteria that I made. This is my master algorithm. So 30%, this is like the highest percentage of your judging criteria is going to be use of those free for the month assets. So to get the full 30%, you would need to use at least the 2, and you need to use them well, right? So like if you just throw some stuff in there, I'm probably going to be like, yeah, you met the criteria, but did you do it well? If you use 3, 4, or even 5 of them, you have a better chance of maxing this out. So maybe challenge yourself a little bit, try to get as much in there as you can. I'm also going to be reviewing the asset packs in the next 3 weeks. So I'm going to have a pretty good idea of what's in there. So for the most part, I'm going to be able to tell, but it should be evident that you use them, right? I shouldn't have to like go hunting for them and you'd be like, no, I used that rock. Like that rock was in that asset pack, remember? Like it should be pretty evident that you use them, right? That's how you max out the criteria, and use them well together. Make sure that they work together. 20% is going to be the theme, which I think is now 2 slides away. Maybe it's the next slide. Can't remember. So no GTA clones. Got it. Yeah, sure. 20% is the theme. So I'm going to announce a theme. The use of this theme, get creative. Try to find a way to incorporate it. That's going to be 20% of the criteria. Gameplay mechanics. So this is where is the game fun? Do the systems work well together? Is the game cohesive? Is it a good player experience? But also this is where like bugs, like anything that's kind of broken can count against you. So if you have like the funnest game, but like it's impossible to play it because there's bugs, then you're going to get some points knocked down on this one. So just make sure you don't bite off more than you can chew. Keep the project small. You can always finish a small project and then add more if you have time left, than trying to complete something way overly ambitious. You run out of time and then you didn't finish. It's better to finish something small than to not finish, in my opinion. Cohesive graphics, so having a good visual experience is going to be 20%. And then sound design, we cannot forget about sound. Sound is a critical part of game dev. With mobile gaming, I think a lot of people kind of don't care as much about this one. Yeah, I think, hey, if you could use both those environmental packs together, props. They do not match in style. So, I don't know. Maybe if you got some good post-processing, you can get them to match or something. I don't know. But, yeah, good luck on that one. But sound, don't forget about sound. If you have no sound in your game, you just lose 10%. So if you just don't care about it, you think, like, I got a solid game, I can win with a 90%, hey, go for it. But I think you should at least have a little bit of sound, like some sound effects, maybe some background music, menu sounds, things like that. They're pretty easy. Like sound is easy to implement, and it's such a huge part of the immersion. Oh, crap, I forgot it was the next one. So here's your theme. Now you can all get started. Leave the stream. Don't leave the stream. The theme is hidden talents. So the idea with these themes is like, obviously, like, you can take it literally, but use your creativity. Try to find a way to incorporate this theme into your game in a creative way that makes your game your own. That's the theme, hidden talents. I don't know what else to say about that. Here's another question. Might be some work. Yeah. Need background music. I agree. So there's your theme. Now you know it. I'm going to leave it up for like 2 more seconds. Get thinking about how you can fit this into your game. All right, now we talk about the prize. You get the esteem of winning, right? That's all you really care about. You just want to be a winner of this. There were not as many entries as I had hoped. But hey, these are the prizes. All right. So if you have the best overall game, meaning you had the best of this judging criteria, you win best overall game. I'm going to send you a $50 gift card for Steam. And yeah, that's that. I'm also going to have 3 like second place trophies, I guess. But best use of the free for month assets. So if someone like just was able to fit all 5 and maybe their game wasn't exactly cohesive, but hey, you got them all in there. Hey, and it works, right? You can't just throw them all in there. It needs to work. Then hey, you can win that prize. If the most creative use of theme, so if you really thought outside the box, then you will win that prize. And then the third and final one of these additional awards is the most immersive experience. So this would be kind of a mixture of cohesive gameplay, cohesive visual experience, and cohesive sound design, all kind of mixed together. That's that player experience that we're looking for when we make a game, like totally immerses the player. You would get a prize for that. So these are the prizes that you can win for this game jam. I'm gonna put up my 2 caveats here. So I cannot control who lets Steam get a gift card. So I will try to give you this gift card, but if there's some restriction, maybe you live in a country where I can't give you the gift card, that's outside of my control, and I will apologize in advance if that happens. If you are winning and you live in a country where I am not able to give you a gift card, I apologize. But I think for the most part, I looked it up. It's not, I don't think there are very few countries where a restriction like this exists. So hopefully it doesn't come up. Also, in order to get this prize, you need to verify with me that you're over 18 years old. I don't want to restrict people from participating, but I think that there could be some weird ambiguities for giving prizes to people under 18. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to say the prizes are restricted to people 18 and over. And you need to live in a country where I can actually give you the gift card, right? Because I have no control over Steam and what they allow. So yeah, that's that. Thank you for the videos and streams. They've been invaluable to me and my attempts at learning. Thank you. I turned 18 almost 30 years ago. Hey, good for you, man. That's awesome. I just had my 20-something anniversary of my 18th birthday. So yeah, I'm in my 40s. I'll just put it that way. But yeah, so do your best. Try to win. Even if I can't give you the gift card, I'm still going to call you the winner. I'm not going to give it to someone else. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it to myself. I don't know. But anyway, I'm also going to put one more caveat out there, okay? This assumes that at least 4 people finish this game jam. Like, I hope we don't end up in a situation where less than 4 people finish, right? Just think about it. Like, there was only like 9 people that signed up by today. So like, if half of you submit something, you just automatically are all gonna win something. That's at least something, right? But if not enough people participate, I don't know. Maybe I'll just give the prizes out anyway. Maybe if one person finishes, then I'll just give you all of them. There you go. You can win all the prizes. So that's that. All right. So how to enter the game jam? I got 2 QR codes up here. I guess 3 now. Oh, actually, one of those is a duplicate. Let me hide this one so I don't confuse people. All right. So the top one is how to enter. You can go to itch.io/jam/JimJam Game Jam with some dashes in there. Click Join Jam. That's all you have to do to enter. And then you're signed up for the game jam. At the end, there will be some submission criteria. I'll put that out in the next couple days once I finalize it. But yeah, if you want to enter right now, all you got to do is just click one button and then you're entered. The submission is at the end. So this is going to go for the next 3 weeks plus 5 hours. You will be able to submit your game by the end of the game jam, and then I'll give a week or 2 to judge them depending on how many submissions we have. Maybe it's only going to take a day. If one person submits, you just win. And then it's going to take me like 1 day, and I'll just be like, all right, we have a winner. It's the one person, but hopefully that doesn't happen. If you want more information, I do have a Discord where there's some channels you talk to other people about the Game Jam. If you get stuck, there's some people that could help you, including myself. If you have questions, if you want to show your progress, if you have a question about how to do something in Unreal Engine that maybe you're not sure of, you can head to the Discord. There's lots of people to help on there. So join the Discord anyway. I'll put in some more information periodically on there. I think we have 10 participants, so hopefully everyone joins in. Hey, there's 10? That's great. That was what I hoped. I was like, can we just get at least 10 people so it's not embarrassing to me that my Game Jam was a flop. All right. Is that the last one? That is the last one. Wow, we talked through that really quickly. I guess I'll just go back to this and leave it here. But yeah, so it starts today, 23rd, by midnight. That's Eastern time midnight. So if you're in the US on the West Coast, that's like 9 p.m. I think. If you're in Hawaii, it's even sooner. If you're in China, I think it's like 12 hours the next day. So anyway, it's still the same amount of time for everyone. It's just you need to know where your time zone is at. But that tells you on the Game Jam page. So that's all I had today. I'll keep the stream going for a couple of questions. If anyone has any questions, put them in the chat. I'm watching both chats, Twitch and YouTube, so I can see them. And then I'll just end the stream in a couple minutes if there's no questions. I think it's a good theme too. Thank you. You know what inspired this? I was trying to think of this is a solo dev Game Jam, right? I'm trying to encourage people to develop on their own, really challenge themselves. And really what I've found mentoring solo devs over the years is there's a lot of really smart people that get into this kind of as a hobby, and then they just realize wow, I'm actually pretty good at this. It's a hidden talent for a lot of people. So I want you to uncover your hidden talents by doing this Game Jam. All right. Yeah, thanks. I'm excited for all of you as well. I hope we get some really cool stuff. Hit up the Discord. I'm going to unshare that again. Hit up the Discord if you have any questions. I'll be on there. Yeah, that's a good point. Decent plan. So if I could give one tip, I'm going to give two tips actually. I'll give two tips for this, all right? Because I've done Game Jams in the past, and I've done Game Jams where we didn't finish in time. So I'm going to give two tips. The first tip, you got to keep it small. If you don't keep it small, you're not going to finish. You can always add on more, but think about the tiniest game possible that you can make, and that's the game you should make, all right? The second tip is before you even program the first thing in Unreal Engine, if you're already started, it's too late, all right? Write down what you want to do. I like to use one of these notepad things, and then these are stickies too, right? It's like giant post-it notes. I'll just start writing down ideas, and I just post them all over the place, and then I kind of move them around, and I'll write out my classes. All right, what is the player gonna play as? What's the character? What are the controls? What are the functions? What are the parameters that they need? Plan out your game, and then start programming it. I promise you will save yourself some time. If you like a more GDD approach, where you try to write down all the requirements for the game, that's a good way to do it too. But if you don't start planning and you just say I'm just gonna dive in, throw some asset packs into a project, and you just go for it, it's gonna be significantly harder. So plan out your game first. And once you have a plan, it will be easier to program. And the second thing is keep it small. Keep it as small as possible. This only is 3 weeks. It's going to go quick. Especially if you have a tight schedule already. You're only doing this on nights and weekends or something, or after the baby goes to sleep, or in the morning when you wake up while you're having your coffee, you got an hour. It's not a lot of time. So keep it small. All right. So I think that's good. Yeah, we got some good tips in the chat. So we got plan to make something you can finish. halfway through the jam, and that gives you time to fix stuff. Yeah, Kiss. Yep, I love that band. Yeah, so you have 3 weeks. Really, you should be done in 2 weeks. Then you have a week to fix things, right? That's a good goal as well. But anyway, I am really excited about this. I hope this is the first of many game jams. This will also be a chance for me to work out the kinks and figure out how to run a damn game jam. Hopefully next time, I actually had some sponsors for this and they fell through. But hopefully I'll get some sponsors next time. We can get a better prize pool going, maybe some cool merch from somewhere. But yeah, sign up for the game jam, join the Discord, talk to people, show them what you're working on. This is really cool. It's a really cool way to build the community. And I hope to see all these awesome submissions on the 23rd. And I'll see you all later. Thanks for joining.